Woke up this morning feeling fine. Leeds United are on my mind. The boys are top of the league and I'm feeling good. Oh yeah. Hello everybody, welcome back to One Leeds. Welcome back. It is Conor in the car. It's a beautiful summer's day. It feels like a summer's day anyway. It isn't summer quite yet, but we're on the way there, aren't we? And it just feels poignant. The sun is out, the birds are tweeting, and Leeds United are top of the championship. 37 points accumulated in 2024. One more time, everybody. I want to hear it from the back. 37 points accumulated in 2024. 3 goals conceded. Who's got the second most points in 2024? Norwich on 27. Do I hear you, Leicester, Southampton or Ipswich in that list? I do, but a little bit further down. We're back, everybody. Please make sure you are liking, commenting and subscribing to the One Leeds Fan Channel. We also are going to have some bonus content on the Patreon today. I've got my favourite Leeds top on. Everything's good. Everything is dandy. Were put to the sword yesterday, 2-0. Apparently they played quite well, according to Millwall fans, which just shows how Leeds United are able to take the soul, take the hope from opposition sides. Because if we've been brutally honest, in that game, it was wall-to-wall Leeds United. They had a little period of time where they were in it, but they didn't really do anything. And for Millwall fans to be coming away, listen to a lot of opposition fans, speaking to an opposition fan, a good friend of mine who is a Millwall fan, they thought they played really well in that game. So for us, really, in that game, it was probably a 2 out of 10 performance in terms of what we can get to. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe it was 2 to 4 out of 10. Leeds United still bossed the game. Leeds United was still completely dominant when it came to momentum and consistency. We hit the post twice. We had one cleared off the line. We had many opportunities to make it 3-4, 5-0. So for Millwall fans to believe they played well, I mean, fair play to them. I don't watch Millwall. So, you know, if that is them playing well, then more credit needs to be put to Leeds United's door, really. Obviously, Millwall going to Southampton not long ago, 4 weeks ago, I think it was, and beating them 2-1, you know, in a really, really good performance. Neil Harris came to spoil the party. I saw a lot as well. Listen, I heard a lot of Millwall fans saying that it's like Leeds have won the FA Cup. Well, you know, when it feels like what we've been through in the past 2 years has just been so turbulent, we've not had many good times, and that's what football's all about, the good times. It did feel a little bit like that. It felt a little bit yesterday when we hit the top. We've not been top once this season. It feels like Leicester, and it is probably accurate to say Leicester have been there for pretty much since the beginning of the season. We know they've got a game in hand, but I remember when we hit the top 2, I believe it was Ipswich or Southampton at that moment in time. I think it was Southampton. They had games in hand over Leeds United, and they still do. But at that moment in time when Leeds hit the top 2, they had games in hand. And I remember everybody saying the same thing. Southampton have got games in hand, they've got games in hand, they've got games in hand, there's no real point. But you would rather, from the Bielsa season, when we had games in hand over Sheffield United, but Sheffield United had the points over Leeds United, we were all saying, oh yeah, but we've got games in hand. But in reality, you always want the points on the board. Of course you do, because the points on the board are the points on the board. You're in the top 2. You know, you're leading the table, and that's what we've got to look at right now. And I think going into this international break, as I say, with a lovely sunny Yorkshire day, as you can see behind me, it's a really good feeling. And, you know, the job that's been done at this moment in time, the wins that we're getting, you know, the games that we've got left now, everybody, you know, we can see the finish point. We can see the end, the finish line and the end point, I should say. Leeds are the informed team in the division. We've been the informed team in the division for a long time now. As a fan base, we look at the opposition. Of course we do. I do, you do, your dad does, your mum does, your brother does, your sister does, all your family do. You look at the opposition because they're rivals at the end of the day. And when we actually look at it, when you look at the table, there's still a point separating Ipswich, Leeds and Leicester. And that's the feeling. You know, that's what we've got to all look at. But when you look at it from a wider perspective, a wider lens, Leeds are in form. We're a better team all round, in my opinion, than both of them. And both of our rivals as well, we've beaten twice, home and away. All of this is very significant when it comes to mentality and when it comes to that run. I've never really been this confident. I'll be brutally honest with you guys. Like, even under Bielsa, like in the 18-19 season, I wasn't confident, and it came through on videos as well. I was still anxious. I was still absolutely killed by years and years and years of Leeds United letting me down, and I thought that was going to let me down again, and it did, thanks to Derby in the playoff semi-finals and a certain Kiko Casilla. But even the Bielsa season when we went up, the second season under Marcelo, it still felt like it was, oh my God, we've got to get to 10 to 12 to 13 to 14 points to know that we're automatically promoted and we won, we've won the league and all this sort of stuff. And it still felt tense then. That might just be me, but it's just all those years and years of hurt with Leeds United. And right now, we're going into a fantastic period of which the Football League has never seen. The Football League has never seen this checkered flag, which is about to be drawn and let go, and they're about to see 4 race cars, and I mentioned it last night when I was talking about analogies, but 4 race cars just absolutely bolting for that finish line, and let's see what happens. But I have the utmost faith now, from what I've seen, that we are going to be in the top 2, and isn't this absolutely fantastic? Because remember what Enzo Maresca said right at the beginning when Leeds played Leicester. It's not an important game for us, it's an important game for them. Well, it feels like now, with what's happened with Leicester after that, and obviously them losing the Borough game beforehand, they've lost quite a few games after Leeds United as well. And the Borough game obviously previously. But doesn't it feel, or they've not picked up 3 points, but doesn't it feel poignant what he said? Because that game, if they'd have beaten Leeds United, if they'd have taken their chances, I fully believe Leicester would have gone into the distance. And I'm not saying they won't, still, but I think they'd have gone. If they'd have put goals beyond past Leeds that day, and that'd have been it. We couldn't have said anything. That'd have been it. And I felt that it then would have been a race for second. But the space race is still on now. That outer world experience of getting to the promised land by winning the division is still there because Leeds beat Leicester, and I feel that really was a turning point, and then it kept going and going and going. The Huddersfield game was a little bit of a blip. We've not played amazing in Stoke, amazingly well in the Stoke game, in the Wednesday game, in the Huddersfield game. We haven't in the Huddersfield game, Stoke Wednesday, should I say? Yeah, and then obviously the other day against Millwall. We've not played that well. We haven't. We've been pretty average, to be honest with you. But we've not conceded goals aside from the Huddersfield game from an awful set piece. But in those sort of 4 games, we've conceded a goal. And that's it. And that's how you've got to look at it, really. Like, the form is something that we didn't see under Bielsa, And what do we finish on with Marcelo? Was it 93, 94? We're going to eclipse that with probably around about, in my opinion, with probably around about 4 or 5 games to go. And we still might finish second by eclipsing that. This is what this side is going to be doing right now. So it feels like when we've been told we're out of it, when we've been told by other managers that the game's more important for us, it feels like it's almost been used by Daniel Farke to harness a real energy from the squad. And as I said on last night's video, he's done so well, Daniel Farke. And I apologise, everybody, for the lack of thumbnails, everything else. It's been a mad 24 hours where I've been in Manchester, then I've been Leeds, then I've been somewhere else, then I've been back in York. It has been chaos. But I've been trying to get the videos out as much as possible, as you can see. And it is just one of those right now where we are riding the crest of a wave. And I'm really, really excited by what I'm seeing by Leeds United at this moment in time. And as I said yesterday, I don't think this is going to stop. I look at players like Archie Gray. I look at players like Glenn Kamara. I look at players like Patrick Bamford, who I thought was really good again yesterday, apart from that poor pass. But I look at William Yonto. I look at Dan James. I'm looking at Chris Somerville, who I thought was better yesterday than what he's been. I look at Rutter, who got another 2 assists yesterday. And I look at it and I'm thinking, who's dying off? Who's feeling the pressure? Who's not performing? Who's feeling that squeeze, the end of season squeeze? And we've got eight games to go, or whatever it is right now. And they may feel the squeeze. Watford may be a difficult one. I think it will be. QPR, we know notoriously don't do well down there. But overall, you're expecting this team, now with 2 weeks off, to really apply the squeeze and go again. But this is so important now when we come back, and obviously when we play Watford, it has got to be hell for leather, going for it, putting everything on the line. Because I do think 3 points dropped in this race is going to be pivotal. I don't think you'll ever see anything like it again. I don't think we've ever seen anything like it. And I think 3 points is going to be massive. You look at Southampton now. If they're to win the 2 games in hand, they're still, what, 6 points behind Leeds? And that's because they had a bit of a blip. Leeds can't afford to do that right now. And I don't think they will. But guys, how are you feeling this morning? We're going to be back with some more content towards the back end of the day and throughout this week. Obviously, I love the international breaks. It means that I can be a little bit more creative with content. It means that we haven't got the tight squeeze of all the games around the corner, and I need a bit of a break from Leeds United at this moment in time. I really do. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you in a bit.